Shane Dawson's dark past that you didn't know about. Shane Dawson is one of YouTube's biggest original creators. He has been on YouTube for more than a decade, though he has a pretty dark past that you may be unaware of. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button so we know who Shane's real fans are. The rise of Shane Dawson TV. Shane Dawson, born as Shane Lee Yaw, is one of YouTube's biggest creators. He has been on the website for more than a decade and began uploading videos when he was 18 or 19 years old. Most of his original content has been removed or hidden from his channel. This is because many of his original videos were considered to be extremely offensive, racially insensitive, and highly controversial. Shane was raised in Long Beach, California and attended Lakewood High School as a teenager. Throughout his childhood and teenage years, Shane was bullied in school for being overweight. He didn't let this bother him for a while, but the pressure eventually mounted and Shane decided to lose weight, and a lot of it. He lost over 150 pounds in his first few years of creating videos, and he has been able to keep most of that weight off and live a healthier lifestyle. As Shane continued to grow up throughout his teenage years, he discovered a passion for creating videos after working on school video projects with several of his friends. He wanted to pursue a career in film full-time, so he began uploading skits to YouTube. When Shane first began YouTube, he was working for Jenny Craig, a weight loss company. He worked there for quite some time while continuing to pursue film on the side. Though his job at Jenny Craig came to an abrupt end when management discovered a video Shane posted in which he was pole dancing while at work. Shane wasn't the only one to lose his job though. His mother, brother, and 6 other workers lost their jobs as well due to their involvement in the video. It was around this time that Shane began to craft characters for his skits, including iconic characters like Shanae, SDZ, Ned the Nerd, and others. At the time, these videos were very well received, though as the American culture began to shift, fans began to criticize Shane's work and he was forced to remove many of his offensive videos. His characters were often exaggerated versions of people of many different races. Shane even went as far as to wear blackface in a few videos, which certainly didn't help the situation. Shane's original channel named Shane Dawson TV has been dormant for over 3 years. He has removed all of his original videos and now posts only to his Shane channel, which he has been building for several years. Shane's racially insensitive archive. Shane has a massive archive of his original YouTube videos which were, more often than not, highly offensive to people of color and people of other nationalities. Many of his original videos were directed towards children or teenagers, and Shane seemed to have been doing very well for himself during this time. He began uploading to YouTube as a form of hobby before YouTube was a monetizable platform. Many of his fans recall this as proof that Shane is truly passionate about his work and not simply cashing in on his fans, as some viewers have suggested over the years. Shane was part of YouTube for several years before he was able to monetize his videos, though he quickly became one of the first creators to be able to monetize a channel. From this point forward, Shane's success began to soar and he found himself being one of the top creators on the website, developing one of the first dedicated YouTuber fan bases on the platform. Shane used this opportunity to his advantage and began uploading videos regularly after he lost his job at Jenny Craig. It was then that he began to introduce several of the most popular characters, including the infamous Shanae, a girl who grew up on the streets in the ghetto. While Shanae is one of Shane's most memorable characters, she was far from the most offensive. Shane spoke out in one of his most recent videos and said, "I'm going to start with all the racism I put onto the internet as an adult, not a child. I was at least 20 when I started YouTube, and I decided to play stereotypes of black people or Asians or Mexicans or pretty much every race. I made that decision. I said, oh, this is funny, and I put that on the internet." He continued to say, "Blackface was something I did a lot. There's no excuse for it. I'm sorry that I added the normalization of blackface or the normalization of saying the N-word, and my justification at the time for that was, oh, I was playing a character, and it was in comedy, and my black friends were there, and that makes it okay. No, it's not okay. Me, as a white person, wearing a wig, and playing a character, and doing stereotypes, and then saying the N-word is something that I should have probably lost my career for at the time. There's no amount of apologizing that can take it away." After Shane's content began to make headlines again, many viewers began to dig up dirt on Shane, calling him out for his previously offensive video collection. Even though Shane has deleted all his original videos, clips and mirror uploads remain accessible across YouTube and other websites. It seems as though many of Shane's recent fans were blissfully unaware of his offensive and insensitive past, as Shane has been losing hundreds of thousands of followers after this news was brought to light. The situation only grew worse as major celebrities began to jump on board and shame Shane for his past. Jaden Smith was one of the first individuals to speak out against Shane. Jaden is the son of Will Smith and the brother of Willow Smith. Many years ago, Shane posted an extremely inappropriate inappropriate video in which he pretended to pleasure himself in front of a photo of Willow Smith, a young girl who was just 11 years old at the time. A video like this is incredibly uncalled for, and we can't imagine what must have been going through Shane's mind as he filmed this. Shane's accountability. Shane has been very honest about his past behavior on YouTube, though YouTube has decided to take serious action against all 3 of Shane's channels and has removed monetization from any channel Shane owns. Shane uploaded a video just a few days before this happened, which he called Taking Accountability. This video detailed all the various mistakes Shane has made in his earlier career, including the many times he crafted racially insensitive characters. He also apologized and opened up about his history of sexualizing minors, as well as the times he made jokes about people with permanent disabilities. He said, "At this point, realizing how many people I've hurt or how many people I've inspired to say awful things or do anything awful, to finally just own up to it all and be accountable is worth losing everything to me." Shane's apology video was not well received. Viewers continue to call Shane out, claiming that there are various incidents throughout the years that he has yet to acknowledge or apologize for. Major companies began to speak out against Shane as well, including Target. Target is a company that Shane has partnered with several times in the past to release his book, but only time will tell if Shane officially gets cut from all major retailers. The end of Shane Dawson. Shane has always been upfront about his dark past on YouTube, so it seems a bit odd that viewers are just now coming out against him. Though considering today's political climate, it was bound to happen eventually. Many viewers are also unwilling to accept Shane's apology regarding his older videos because his original content remained monetized for months after he had already spoken out against them. Considering Shane is now permanently demonetized on YouTube, time will tell how Shane's future plays out. For now, Shane's channel is still active. Though it seems unlikely that Shane will be able to recover from this controversy, he has been called out for his behavior many times before, but YouTube doesn't seem to be willing to mend the relationship with Shane this time around. For now, we will all have to wait to see what becomes of Shane Dawson. It's difficult to see such a talented creator follow this path, but we hope that Shane can realize the error of his ways and eventually come back on top. Though without the racial slurs and insensitivity, at the end of the day, everyone has to pay for their crimes. There have been sources that seem to suggest Shane will be facing a criminal investigation by local police regarding his previous videos, especially the video concerning Willow Smith. While we don't know how true these rumors are, there are several articles and blogs claiming that Shane will be officially investigated, presumably to determine if Shane was involved in hate crimes or potential sexual misconduct concerning children. We certainly hope that Shane was not involved in either of these things, but if he was, he must be held accountable for his actions. Shane hasn't uploaded to his channel in the last few days and has been largely unresponsive to the controversy surrounding his channel. The only time Shane fully addressed the situation was in a tweet from June 21st that read, "I deleted everything, I'm done. For those who want me to address it, I did. I'm sure you can find it reposted somewhere, but I don't want this energy in my life or in my timeline. I'm too sensitive for this, and I'm done." Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.